interesting. But it turns out, which you'll hear soon, that there are certain items that you should be going for on Black Friday. And also, there's some crazy deals going on right now. Like, I know Target is dropping a bunch of deals.
Yes, Andrea
My mommy
Warrock,
group texts are like, hey, heads up, 40% off, 50% off.
Yes.
Great deals.
Actually, Target, we spoke with Andrea Warrock during a Good Day this morning. She said that Target's running a thing where if someone finds a better deal, you know, whether it's Black Friday, yeah, exactly, for a certain time frame. It's not. We'll get into all this, and also, yeah, exactly. Some of these smaller outlets there can be some shady offers that really make it seem enticing that you're going to want to avoid.
Yep. We're also
sort
talking
through
about
all that.
A little friend that's going to come visit us very soon in our house, and I don't know if your house too this year. Well. Elf on the Shelf celebrating 20 years. So Elf on the Shelf has been helping Santa out for 20 years now, which is a very long time. We're talking to the founders about the milestone. I'm so curious to know about how they found out about Elf on the Shelf, how Santa got a hold of them, all the goodies.
Right, exactly. They, Elfie, ours is named Elfie. What's yours?
Oh.
Do you have a name for yours?
I don't, no.
Okay.
No, maybe Sparkle or something, but I can't really remember.
Sprinkle. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm curious about this phenomenon as well.
My daughter, right now, if I ask my daughter if she wants to name something, everything is Polly Pocket.
Polly Pocket.
Polly Pocket. And she doesn't even have a Polly Pocket. Like, she got this stuffed duck for her birthday. I was like, what's its name? Polly Pocket.
There must be something, because my 4-year-old is calling everyone Aiden these days. He calls me Aiden. He calls his brother Aiden. He calls his mom Aiden. And here's why. What? His best friend at school has a brother named Aiden.
Ah, yeah.
So we're all Aiden now.
4-year-olds are hilarious, you guys. I can't.
I pick them up.
Really actually
I pick them up.
Funny.
Hi, Aiden. Hi, Aiden.
You're like, wait.
Dad? Daddy?
Hi, Aiden. It's a cute name.
I hope it doesn't stick. I mean, yeah, great name. Great name.
Solid name.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. But I think we're talking to TMZ first.
Do we have Michael Babcock on the line? Not
here
yet.
All right. Well, let's talk about this Elf on the Shelf maybe a little more.
Sure.
So when did Elfie come visit your house the first time?
Good memory on memorizing our elf's name. Elfie, I think his first appearance at Casa Ponce was like 3 years ago.
Casa Ponce.
And he tends to arrive on the 1st of December.
Every year.
Every year, like clockwork. How long has the elf been visiting Casa Caitlin?
I don't know. I guess maybe when Birdie was little. I would say like 5 years ago or so.
Last year something interesting happened with Elfie.
Okay. Did Elfie poop chocolate chips in your sink?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you remember me posting a picture of that?
No, my elf did the same thing though. Did your elf put toothpaste in Oreo cookies?
Ooh, I don't think they get in all kinds of trouble.
Yeah.
Another thing that happened was Theo gave Elfie his Christmas list. Okay. Like, really neat, and like sealed the envelope and everything. Elfie took it back up to the North Pole, was gone for like 5 days.
Uh-oh.
And we had to keep explaining to Theo there might be a long line, a lot of elves trying to get in line to see Santa.
Yeah.
Right? And so it was about a 5-day period where he wasn't moving around the house, he wasn't in different locations, but then he came back having apparently delivered
Took a vacation, I guess.
No, I think he was waiting in line. I honestly think he was waiting in line up there. I'm curious to know if that's a common thing or what.
Maybe Elfie could take a break for 15 days.
Exactly, because December 1st is a pretty early arrival for an elf. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
so anyway,
they get into some trouble.
Exactly, I was sick of cleaning up after him every day.
Yeah, I don't blame you, yeah.
Toothpaste in the cookies, though.
Toothpaste in the cookies. Did you, yes. Yeah, toothpaste in the cookies.
What other misadventures did Elfie
sometimes Santa's helpers of Amazon, Amazon is Santa's helpers. Sometimes the elf can buy some things on Amazon, like a 30-day package to do tricks on your kids. So maybe look into that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Bada boom, bada bang.
Here's another thing that's already happened this year. This was last week. We have this missing. We have like a missing panel of wood right next to our dishwasher. It's in the corner of our kitchen, so it makes this little hole.
It's at the door.
My kids were like, where's the flashlight? I need a long, they were just in there. They're convinced that's Elfie's entrance.
Ah.
It's this little hole in her, yeah. So they were
That's another thing. I think my Elf on the Shelf went shopping on Amazon for.
Really?
It was a cute little
Oh, like a little
very
entry?
Darling.
Okay.
Yeah, so
we're going to get all into it, but I understand, without further ado, Michael Babcock, there he is.
Probably so confused. What are you guys talking about? Hi.
Michael,
hi guys.
Are you familiar with Elf on the Shelf at all?
I am. Yeah.
Okay. Does Elf on the Shelf
I don't
your
have
house?
one. I don't participate. But yeah.
Okay. Got it. Because we're gonna. It's celebrating 20 years of Elf on the Shelf.
Oh,
and we're
no
gonna,
way.
Later in Diddy Combs, he's doing a sentence on the East Coast for this unrelated issue, but now something's popping out of L.A. news-wise with regard to Diddy. Get us updated, Michael, if you wouldn't mind.
Uh-oh, he definitely is frozen.
He's going to unfreeze, though.
He's frozen.
I think he's going to unfreeze.
Should we just call him on the phone? I'll put him on speaker. We could set it right here. Maybe?
Nothing?
Maybe?
There we go.
Oh, I think I'm back, guys.
He's
You're back. You're back. You're back.
You're back.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear anything.
Oh.
Yeah. So I think you asked about Diddy.
Yes. The L.A. case.
Yeah. Look, and obviously he, as we know, as we sit here and talk, is sitting in a federal prison in New Jersey right now, Fort Dix, where he's not set to get out until May of 2028. And now for Diddy to have to deal with another criminal investigation, I think it's probably the last thing that he wants, but here he is. So there was a music producer who claims that back in 2020 that Diddy sexually harassed him. That I won't get too much into it because it's a bit graphic, but that there was a sex act that Diddy had done in front of this guy, and that he was obviously like, look, this happened out of the blue. It's not something that I asked for, and yet there I was, and it's something that I had to deal with. So some time goes by, and he ultimately ends up filing a police report just a couple of months ago. Now he also filed a lawsuit. So he files the civil lawsuit that is active, and now also he files the police report, and because of that, it has now triggered a police investigation. So you've got the sheriff's office out here in Los Angeles County that is now investigating Diddy, and it's not saying that he's going to get charged. We don't know, but the reality is that now Diddy, I think, is safe to say or fair to say that he is under criminal investigation in California for an alleged crime again that has to do with some sort of sexual abuse.
Do you think he could possibly go back to court then after he gets out?
Absolutely could. If they, if this ultimately goes to a grand jury, or the prosecutors, the DA says, I think there's enough here to warrant charges, and I think we can get a criminal conviction, then yeah, absolutely. It would likely happen then after Diddy was released. He's set to be released now in May of 2028, so he's got a little bit of time, but they could absolutely take him right from New Jersey, and they could haul him right back to Los Angeles, and they could put him on trial. And obviously, depending on whatever the charges might be, then he could be, looking at further penalty. So this is not good for Diddy. A civil lawsuit is one thing. He's got the money, though. He can handle these civil cases. But when you're talking about a criminal case, you're obviously talking about potential prison time here. And that's not what he's looking. He's not looking to do any more time than he has to, clearly.
Before we move on, Michael, can you comment a little bit on the timing of this? You mentioned that break it down and put it into context because one of the things that occurs to me is this coming out now,
right
after everything that happened. So what's the deal with the timing on making this accusation?
Yeah, so the guy, and he's not identified, so nobody knows who he is at this point, but this guy says it happened in 2020. Now, why he didn't say anything for a literal 5-year period of time, I think that's a great question, and that's something that people are going to ask. The reality is Diddy in September of 2024 is arrested. In the months leading up to that September arrest, there was a lot of talk about allegations, and Diddy was really, he was really under attack at that point, and justifiably so. So whether that gave this person the confidence to come forward, or whether this person thought that Diddy was vulnerable and that he could get some money out of him, I think those are all fair questions to ask. He could be telling the truth. He could not be telling the truth. We obviously just don't know. But it's undeniable that he waited a long period of time after this allegedly happened.
All right, Michael, let's change topics here. Liev Schreiber hospitalized in New York City, but has since been cleared to return to work. What do we know? What could it be?
Yeah, so he woke up on Sunday and had a massive headache, a really bad headache, so bad that, you know, he wasn't going to go grab for the Advil. He called his physician and he said, look, I think something might be wrong with me. What should I do? And his doctor says, look, let's not take any chances here. Go to the hospital. And that's exactly what he did. So credit to Liev for listening to his doctor. He goes to the hospital and the physicians say, look, we want to put you through a battery of tests. So they ultimately end up keeping him overnight. So Sunday night into Monday, he stays at the hospital in New York City. They put him through these tests. Now, we don't know exactly what the windup here was and what exactly was wrong, if anything. But like you said, the fact that he has not just been discharged, but he has been allowed to return to work, I think that shows that this is probably something where there's a good outcome here and everything is okay. But yeah, scary moment when you wake up and you know, you feel so sick that you've got to go to the hospital.
Yeah, exactly. Any updates on Liev? I know him mostly as the voice for so many amazing documentaries. He's got
the best, right?
I mean, Morgan Freeman, whatever. They're both on the Mount Rushmore in my mind.
They are both on Mount Rushmore.
Any clue what he's working on these days, or is he keeping a pretty low prof?
What was that? What was that? Perfect Stranger? Was that the name of it? It was a show on Netflix recently that he started.
Yeah.
So, which was very good and it was very popular. But yeah, I'm with you. Like, you know, even Hard Knocks, HBO's Hard Knocks, and you know, he is the best at the voiceovers. So that's good work. Yeah, you know, it's pretty quick, and I think the paychecks are probably pretty big. And voiceover work is good work from what I've heard. I wouldn't know personally, but I think he's got a good thing going.
Yeah, I do too. Well, hopefully he's back at working full tilt. You know, our best wishes go out to Liev and the whole fam there out in New York City. All right, Michael, always great to see you, sir.
It was great to see you guys. Thank you so much for having me, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, talk to you soon. Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
bye.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. Back with more Chicago Now right after this.
If you need
Welcome back. Just about 10:15, and we are talking about trending stories now. And this one, I've got mixed feelings about. Mixed feelings. Okay, so maybe you've heard, maybe you haven't, but I guess there is this influencer, or this woman who does hair for influencers. Hair by Chrissy.
On the left. That's Chrissy on the left.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so the hair person, the person who's doing the hair is on the left. Okay, so a smaller influencer, the one on the right.
Her right there.
Okay.
That's the smaller influencer.
Posted a video about her experience with a celebrity hairstylist known as Hair by Chrissy. So that's the other girl. The girl goes by Not Famous, the one that's not so popular. She says she booked an appointment with Chrissy, only interacted with her for a total of 60 seconds during her appointment, her hair appointment. This is her explaining her experience. She said Chrissy came out to tell her assistants what to do, cut one strand of hair and curled one piece. She brought her own extensions and wanted them moved up, which I guess is only about $100 typically. But this Hair by Chrissy experience, they charged $900 for it. And she was told she could only look like her inspo pic if she bought a new set of extensions at the salon. So the girl was charged $4 grand at the end of it for hair she wasn't really happy with.
You saw the receipt right there. She has an itemized
break down
receipt.
the itemized list.
Well, go for it. And I actually want to know how much this compares to regular like cut and color for you guys, but go for it.
Okay, so one of the charges was about $3 grand. It was $2,974 for the Chrissy experience, which, as I just explained, she described as coming out and cutting one piece of hair. Curling a piece of hair. She was charged almost $50 each for shampoo and conditioner. What? And a detangler and serum, totaling up to $152.50. One hair wash, $152. Chrissy did not respond well. Started posting videos making fun of the girl for complaining about her $4,000 bill. That's what those t-shirts were that you saw. She made merchandise, and the shirt, it said made in 4K. Also posted a video of the girl at the salon advertising her services. Even after the girl asked her to take it down, the video is still up. So celebrities are weighing in. Other influencers that have gone to her are coming forward saying they haven't paid that high of a price, or in some cases at all, for her services. Okay, so first let me hear your takeaway and then I'll give my 2
It
cents.
seems on face value like a very obnoxious response by this Chrissy. Listen, if someone has a legitimate complaint about your, as long as it's not a lie, you would think that someone with integrity would either clarify what happened or say something along the lines of, we are really disappointed, or we are sorry to hear you were disappointed with your experience here. And even if they don't offer a refund, hey, come back in and we'll make this right. That to me feels like the right, as long as this smaller influencer isn't telling any lies. It sounds like Chrissy is not denying this. She decided to instead lean into it and make fun of it. Those t-shirts, like, it's basically, it's not, yeah, exactly. It's basically,
yeah, it's gross.
Yeah, it feels not cool, and maybe she's just trying to capitalize on the attention, but I can't imagine this is, I mean, does this fall under any good publicity?
I don't think so.
Or any publicity is good publicity? Because it doesn't feel like to me. Like, this feels like something that'll tank Chrissy, but who knows? What about you, Caitlin?
Okay, so I agree with you, first of all. That was not the right reaction, especially because $4,000 is a lot of money. But this other influencer, she had to have known. Okay, first of all, if there's going to be a service that's $4,000, I can't imagine that they didn't give her a heads up beforehand. They had to have. Well,
what if that's just...
When hair is expensive, Anthony, like I've tried to go to... When you go to a new salon, for example, they will run through what they want to do, especially when it's a big service like this, whatever has to do with extensions. And typically they give you a price. This is how much it's going to cost. Are you okay with that? If so, let's move forward. So I can't imagine that this came as a surprise. I think there was disappointment in the fact that Chrissy wasn't involved more, but I do think that this younger or, less popular influencer has some responsibility in this. You went to a celebrity hairstylist to get this done. So I almost feel like this influencer is also taking advantage and trying to go viral with complaining about the experience. So I don't really feel bad for her.
Like coattails, like ride the coattails of the to get clicks herself.
Like you're going to this well-known hair person because they're well-known, because you want to be an influencer too. So I think that they're both.
So maybe Chrissy says, okay, this person's here to do an attention grab to get clicks, so I'll do the bare minimum and move on.
Maybe, but I'm sure this is not like a one-off. I'm sure a lot of girls go to this Chrissy girl because they want to be, getting more followers.
This is so yucky.
It is. The whole thing is gross.
There's so much of that these days with Instagram, TikTok, the whole thing, where it's blurring the lines of reality, where so much of it is about attention and clicks, all these conspiracy theories and stuff. It sells. It gets shared. It gets liked and commented on. Engagement. We are all, It just feels like the whole thing. Yucky.
Like this.
Yucky. This is where we are in 2025.
Yeah, exactly. A hairstylist and end extensions.
Wow. So that's not surprised. This is what's trending.
Right. But $4 grand. I mean, that's.
Wait. So give me an honest, I mean, I'm not going to ask you what you pay for your cut and color, but what is okay, we're talking about $4,000 here.
Yeah.
That's insane. If my wife spent that, I'd flip out.
Yeah, there's no way.
What is like a typical for like a, you know, here in the city, I know it's more expensive in the city, but what would a woman pay for a cut and color?
Okay, my haircut is actually very affordable, like $40, I think, maybe 60. A color, I think that it depends on what you get. If you get like a mini highlight, it's cheaper, maybe, I don't know, 120 bucks.
So we're talking a couple $100.
Well, the extensions, I think, is a whole other story. So if she had bought the extensions, because I did kind of look at that once.
Yeah.
I feel like that could be probably $1,000.
Okay.
To get extensions put in, color.
So this is probably like 4 times the typical non-influencer.
She brought her own. Like they said that.
Yeah.
She would have had to buy the extensions, so I don't even think she purchased the extensions there.
Yeah.
No, that's outlandish. That's crazy. No way.
Good to be a guy.
No way.
Good to be a guy. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, speaking of budgets and budget busting, we're going to help you not blow up that holiday spending budget with an expert. Bobby Ghoshal is going to be speaking to us about Black Friday, all the do's and don'ts when we come back.
Welcome back. What to buy, what not to buy on Black Friday?
That is the question.
That is the question. Yes. So it's right around the corner. Retailers will advertise their amazing deals, but are there actual amazing deals, or are they just inflating the price and then putting it in red so that you think that it's on sale? We are joined this morning by Bobby Ghoshal. He's the CEO of Dupe.com. Thanks for joining us, Bobby. Good morning.
Hello, Chicago.
Yes.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, where are you joining us from, Bobby?
I'm in New York.
New York. All
City.
right. Thanks for breaking this down for us. We want to start off by asking you about a topic that a lot of us are using these days. That is AI. Is there any way to engage AI to help us navigate Black Friday this year?
Yes, absolutely. So there's a tool, and I'm going to throw it out there because it's my tool. I'm going to talk about it. Dupe.com. Go check it out. We just launched an app last week that went #1 in the App Store. Turns out everyone wants to shop with AI because everyone feels like they're getting ripped off. And Dupe has built the greatest anti-consumer rip-off tool that helps you find the same products that you want for a whole lot less. AI is really good at very specific things. They look at millions of products all together. They're price tracking millions of products. And when you tell AI you want a thing, whether it's a shirt, a lamp, a shoe, a handbag, it looks at that product, it finds similar products for you. It'll look at the price history of that product and tell you, hey, now's a good time to buy, or maybe it's not such a good time to buy. It does a bunch of research on your behalf, and it helps you make more informed purchase decisions. That is what AI is there for, to build that confidence for you before you buy anything online.
Okay, so how is this, I guess this loops in with Black Friday. Is this going to be tracking specifically on Black Friday, like a special, you know, Black Friday sales? Is it looking for those particular words?
Totally. Yeah, it's got basically, well, forget the words for a second. It's doing a live assessment of prices across the internet.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter whether it's Black Friday or not.
Yeah.
On Black Friday, it'll have the Black Friday prices for you. Guys, we built this tool about a year ago. I was ripped off. I bought a piece of furniture online. I way overpaid for it. I did a bunch of research on it. Turns out a lot of these products that you're looking at online are made in the same few factories. Brands buy them from these factories at different prices. They name them different things. And as a consumer, you end up overspending because you don't know how to do the research.
Right? I've seen this. Yes.
Yeah, that is just how. That is the state of buying stuff online today. And we just need to get smarter about this, especially around Black Friday.
All right, so how does it work via dupe.com instead of going to, like, you know, Chat GPT, some of the ones, for some of the AI that we're more familiar with? Hey, find me the best deal on a 82-inch flat screen. How does it work on your platform?
I love this question. So, by the way, it turns out TVs, great time to buy TVs in around Black Friday, which we'll get into. So the way Dupe is different, I like to say that ChatGPT is like a general tool. Think of like a Swiss Army knife. If you're a chef, you're not using, I mean, you could cut a tomato with a Swiss Army knife, but why would you do that? Use a shopping app and a shopping AI tool that does shopping well. Don't use a generalist tool. So it's very different because it does the price tracking, it does the similar item kind of dupe finding, it does the price, the product research on your behalf. It does a whole bunch of stuff for you that some of these other AI tools don't. So it's very different on that front.
Okay, Bobby, we got to go to a quick break for 1 minute, but when we come back, we're going to dive into, you mentioned electronics, a good thing to buy on Black Friday. We'll see what else we should be buying on Black Friday versus Cyber Monday when we come back.
Let's get into it.
Welcome back. We are joined by Bobby Ghoshal. Am I pronouncing that right? Ghoshal, I believe.
Yeah, you got it.
Ghoshal, all right.
Perfect.
He's the CEO of Dupe.com. We are diving into Black Friday sales, what the do's and don'ts, the shoulds and shouldn'ts. And the first question off the top, what should we be buying on Black Friday and what should we be buying on Cyber Monday because the sales are different?
We'll see. First of all, it's sort of like Black November, all right? Like the sales are happening all through the month. The three things that we strongly recommend people look at on both Black Friday and Cyber Monday, starting with TVs. Well, the high levels are TVs, gadgets, and beauty products for Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales. Now, TVs are very interesting because you're entering sort of the tail end of the year where a lot of the 2025 models are going to be sunset and 2026 models are going to be coming to market in that Jan-Feb period. So you're essentially getting the same technology, but the brands are trying to get rid of their inventory. You're going to get amazing deals on TVs. If you've got that, you've got an eye on that 55, 65-inch TV, you're probably going to save 30, 40% buying it on Black Friday.
Okay.
Gadgets. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just
keep going.
I was going to say, so gadgets are great too. Now you want to be thoughtful about where you're buying your gadgets. All right, we recommend Walmart, Target, Amazon, Best Buy for gadgets. I'm talking about things like AirPods and stuff like this. You don't want to buy directly from Apple. Apple almost never discounts, and when they do, it's like 10%. You go to Best Buy, you'll get the same thing for like 30, 40%. So you're going to save a lot of money on gadgets. Beauty products. Now, I'm not buying a whole lot of beauty products myself, but
no, you don't need them. I mean, that'd be wasted money for a guy like you.
Nice
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. But like, listen, if you've got the kind of foundations that you wear through the year on beauty, stock up on beauty products on Black Friday. Stuff that will last you through all of 2026. And I would say the other thing, like if you miss a deal through Black Friday, for example, on gadgets and TVs. Wait till probably Super Bowl next year before you actually buy it. It'll all go back on sale again for that last bit of that 2025 inventory.
Trying to move it out in term for the big game.
They're trying to move it out because they want the 2026.
That makes sense.
So you missed the boat. The sale will circle back around.
Now, one thing before we move on to what to maybe hold off on till an event like Cyber Monday. I'm familiar with like a flight tracker where you enter in your destination, and Google, for example, has a tool where you can look at what flights have been from, let's say, Chicago to Mexico City over the months. Does AI work like that, where they can actually do predictive modeling about where a price will go?
Yeah, so it can. So you can look at historic data.
Okay.
So for example, it's very dependent on years. So if you look at 2024, the biggest selling thing Black Friday 2024 were electronic gadgets, right? It wasn't toys, it wasn't TVs, it wasn't sporting equipment, it was like electronic gadgets. You kind of have to assess, is this going to be the year where that's the case again? AI probably won't do a great job predicting it because it doesn't have the inventory details of what brands are sitting on. The best way to think about what will go on sale is what the brand really needs to move quickly. And this is, we're in like a very weird year because of tariffs and all the cost of goods going up. Brands are trying to buy back some of their margins. So the pricing is very much in flux. So it's much harder, I think, to predict what that looks like. But it's at the end of the day, it's a math equation, and like AI is pretty good at math, so it'll do its best.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit before we let you go about dupe.com. This is an app. Is it a free app? How can people get on here and use your services?
Yeah, so first of all, either go to dupe.com and paste any product URL, upload an image. You will save 60, 70, 80%. I will say we launched just an amazing app last week. It went #1. It beat ChatGPT in the App Store the day it went live. Go to the App Store on your iPhones, look up DUPE, that's Dupe. Look it up, will be the top search result. Download that app, tell your friends and family. You will save a boatload of money because it's the absolute best, the best price tracker on the internet, hands down. Yes, that's the app right there. And look how beautiful it looks.
There's the plug. Nicely done, Bobby. Joining us from New York.
She's cute. No.
Yeah, there we go. Bobby Ghoshal, thank you so much. Appreciate you helping us navigate Black Friday, sir. And good luck to you.
Thank you for having me.
All righty. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, the American infertility crisis. I mean, I'm sure, I don't think I know, obviously I know other couples that have struggled with fertility issues, but I don't think I know anyone who doesn't know someone who has struggled with this or have just been through it.
I'm sure the stats are staggering.
Yeah, so we're going to take a deeper dive into what may be causing this with Dr. Ann Shippey. She's an author and she's a board-certified internal medicine physician. She is going to be joining us when we come back.
And I think this is going to hit home for many people listening, watching, the infertility crisis. I know it's affected my friends, my best friends. I two hands I could fill with fertility issues of people that I know. So the U.S. is currently facing this infertility crisis, and it's not because of age. So we're taking a deep dive into what may be causing it with Dr. Ann Shippey. She's the author and board-certified internal medicine physician. Good morning to you, Dr. Ann.
Good morning. It's so nice to be here with you.
Nice to talk to you this morning. Hopefully we can get some answers here, maybe some things that could help. So let's dive into first how fertility has changed in the United States as of late, the past few decades.
Well, we really are seeing both a men's and women's fertility crisis. It's 1 in 5 couples or 1 in 6, depending on which statistics you're looking at. So that's pretty advanced. And then we're seeing this drop in sperm counts. The sperm counts have dropped 50% over the last 50 years, and it's accelerating. It's around 2.5% this year. So this has really inspired me to write this book and start to help a bigger audience than what I can help in my clinic.
Let's start on the lower sperm counts here. When did we start to notice this change with the gentleman?
Well, it's really come to the forefront in the last couple of years, but this acceleration is even more concerning. But what I want to be sharing is some hope. Even though we're seeing this drop, what I see with my patients is that even someone who has a pretty serious low sperm count or motility or other factors with the sperm, we can turn things around. So what I like to talk about is both the sperm and the egg is like a time capsule. So every piece of information that's going on in your body is represented in the sperm and the egg to be passed on something called epigenetics. It's an advanced field of medicine these days that's really providing us some of these answers.
Okay, so issues with the egg, issues with the sperm. I'm wondering, is it a lifestyle thing? You said there's hope. Is it what we're doing day to day?
It is. So if we think about this time capsule that really is reflective of particularly the last few months before trying to conceive, but even over the years. So some of the things that really can make a difference are how much inflammation there is in the body, how well your mitochondria, the little organelles inside the cell that are making energy, what's going on with your microbiome, so AKA your gut. These factors can really determine how healthy you are, and then how fertile you are, and then how healthy your future baby will be.
What has changed? Is it the American diet? Is it our stress levels? Why are we seeing this now as opposed to decades and decades ago?
I think we've hit the perfect storm. It is the stress, it is the lifestyles, it is the highly packaged foods. Our food supply has really, really changed. And then the environmental toxins. So we have these invisible toxins that we're exposed to on a day-to-day basis that can accumulate in our body. So it's things like the plastics that our foods are packaged in. It's the cosmetics. You were just talking about cosmetics on the previous segment. So it's so important to purchase the natural cosmetics. It's the pesticides that are being sprayed on our food and in our environment. It's the non-stick products that are in our clothing and in our popcorn and many different places.
Okay, so your book focuses on getting ready leading up to trying to get pregnant. What are some of the main things that you focus on, or main things that we should be changing before we want to get pregnant and have a baby?
Well, first of all, I just want people to know that they should be preparing. So a lot of people just, the time hits and they're just like, okay, let's start trying. But what I want people to do is pause for 3, 6, 12, even 36 months if you have it, and really start to get your body super healthy. So those lifestyle things that sometimes go by the wayside because we have other priorities, this is the time to start prioritizing those things. So actually really eating healthy, whole foods, getting your exercise, managing your stress with things like meditation. And then I really want to talk to you about having some time to do some detox, because what I get to do with my patients is I get to check their toxin levels and know where they are. And even people that think that they're eating pretty healthy and avoiding the toxins, we find some hidden toxins that they need to actually get out of their bodies.
We are speaking with Dr. Ann Shippey. She is an author and she's a board-certified internal medicine physician. We are going to be speaking more with her about addressing America's infertility crisis when we come back after this very short break. Stay with us.
Wait.
everyone. Welcome back. We are joined by Dr. Ann Shippey. She's an author and board-certified internal medicine physician, talking to us about infertility and how 1 in 5 or 1 in 6 people are dealing with infertility. So, doctor, you mentioned before about waiting to get healthy before getting pregnant or trying to get pregnant. I was the type, just like you mentioned, one day I was going for a walk and I thought, we should have a baby.
It's time.
Why are we waiting? What is going? So then we immediately tried to have a baby. If you don't wait to clean out your body, you mentioned detoxing, getting in a healthy space, and you just go straight to pregnancy, could that lead to issues?
It can. This is so important for people to know. So we have this children's health crisis going on at the same time. We have 1 in 31 children being diagnosed with autism. We have obesity. We have diabetes, autoimmunity, and cancer accelerating in our children. So what we now know is that these environmental toxins in your body not just affect your health, they affect your fertility and the health of your future child. So I really think by having this time before we get pregnant, we can improve the health of our future child and start to see a decline in this children's health epidemic as well.
All right, Dr. Shippey, I understand we're almost out of time here, but once again, where can folks find your book if they want to look into this more deeply?
So it's The Preconception Revolution. It's every place the books are sold, and on my website, AnnShippeyMD.com. And I hope people will share this with anybody they love that is looking to grow their families.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time. Really, really appreciate it. Nice to see you.
Thanks for having me.
All right, we are back with more Chicago Now right after this.
Back 10:44. All right, parents. We have a visitor coming to our house here shortly.
It's about time.
In a couple of weeks.
Talking about Elf on the Shelf.
Yes.
Do you know when Elf normally shows up at your house?
December 1.
It's literally that day.
You too, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It has been historically.
Sure.
There's no way to know.
Right. You wake up one morning and bam.
Bam. That
little
elf is just
there.
sitting in a corner or up on a lamp or making a mess.
When we were kids, though, Santa didn't use this.
No.
So this is a
relatively new technique.
20 years.
Maybe it's because the population has, it was like 5 billion people when we were kids. Yeah. Now there's like, what, 8 billion people on the planet?
Right.
Give or take.
Yeah.
So maybe Santa just needs more and more.
Sprinkles his little magic powder on these little elves.
Exactly.
I know.
So over the last 20 years, Santa, has been going with this strategy, sending elves out into the world, into our homes. And we are joined this morning, I believe, yes, there they are, Chanda Bell and Krista Pitts, who they are Santa's helpers as well. They had a role in bringing these elves into our homes. Elves come to both of our homes usually on December 1st. I mean, there's no way of knowing exactly when, but ladies, tell us how this whole effort got started from the North Pole on down.
Yeah, so when we were growing up, we had an elf in our home, and that elf's name was Fizbee, and every night, now our elf Fizbee typically arrived on Thanksgiving morning.
Oh.
So Thanksgiving morning, Fizbee would arrive, and as you said, it's kind of unpredictable, you don't know, and then he would work for Santa during the entire Christmas season. He would fly to Santa at night, come back in the morning and hide in a new place. And that's how we knew that Santa knew that whatever was going on in our home was being accurately reported, that maybe Shanda wasn't the good twin and I was the good twin. Right. And that's how it started.
Okay, so why do you think that Santa has been so successful in sending these elves out to families across the world?
Well, I think it's the simplicity of the tradition. You know, everyone can participate in the Elf on the Shelf. You know, you start by reading the book together as a family. It creates a joyful family moment, which is what our entire company is dedicated to doing. But it's simple. Everyone can participate in the memories and the magic that people make. You know, now we have all sorts of products that answer the questions kids have about the North Pole. So whether it's the elf pets, whether it is Nora, our magical Arctic fox that flies through the sky with Santa so he can travel the world in one night and sparks the northern lights, whether it is the elf babies or we're able to inspire elves to be more creative with our elf kits. You know, it is such a magical part of the holidays. And, you know, we lived it as children, but also now as a parent. I get to experience the joy of the Elf on the Shelf and our other Santaverse characters through my own children's eyes, and I think that's what makes it so special.
That is really cool. Tell us, I understand there's something called the Scout Elf Squad. What is the Scout Elf Squad?
It's our brand new preschool show.
Oh.
And so for years, we've had families and children reaching out to us as the authorities on Santa's North Pole and talking about what's next, how else can I find out what's happening at the North Pole? Because the North Pole is 365, right? It's 24/7, 365. The Elf on the Shelf comes to your home for a very small amount of time during the holiday season. But in our preschool program, Scout Elf Squad, which is on YouTube, our Elf on the Shelf page, and it will launch on November the 24th, you get to see the adventures through a younger generation. Everything that's happening at the North Pole, and it teaches good things, right? Counting, and there's music that you cannot
stop singing it. We apologize ahead of time because it is catchy. It is so much fun. Yeah, so Scout Elf Squad will be on our official YouTube channel.
Okay, last question before we let you go. The Santaverse, what is it, and what can we expect to see at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade with it?
Well, the Santaverse is really our entire enchanted world of Santa Claus. And so whether it is our new novel, The Rise of Nicholas the Noble, out now, that sort of explains the whole backstory of Santa and how he met the elves, whether it's all of our new cast of characters like Razzle the Snowman, who is new this year, who teaches children how to celebrate. The Santaverse is our world of storytelling. So just like people think of Star Wars, right? We want them to think of the Santaverse as the world of Santa stories, and we do that through our products and our entertainment and our experiences.
I love this. Hold on. I understand we have like 60 seconds left with you guys. One more question for those of us who are getting questions every day. Hey, when is Elfie coming? Our elf is named Elfie. I'm getting all kinds. I'm trying to field these questions. I'm like, I don't know. Well, any advice for us parents on how to field those questions when these kids are clamoring for when Elfie's going to arrive?
Oh, it's so fun. You know, it's the magic of the North Pole, and there could be delays like snowstorms and stuff, but elfontheshelf.com is a great resource for creative elves. And I think a lot of kids' questions can be answered there.
Oh, okay.
All right.
There's a whole website.
And I can't wait to check out their YouTube page.
Oh, for sure.
Characters.
Chanda and Krista, happy holidays to you.
You guys too.
I hope you guys make the nice list again.
Safely. Absolutely. Thanks.
We will. Thanks.
Okay. And part of the thing with the holidays, are you guys hosting this year at all? Do you know?
So many things.
You host so many things.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, a lot of times,
this is so juicy.
hosting can inspire us all to do that house clean that we've been putting off. I don't know
clean under our beds in the master
Exactly. So we are going to dive in to the very latest from Better Homes and Gardens on the holiday hosting checklist. Okay, we're going to run through that when we come back after this short break.
Fox Local.
Anthony, when you guys are hosting a party, we were asking this beforehand. Are you on the roof, like, blowing leaves out of your gutters when your wife is, like, slaving in the kitchen?
That's not inaccurate, actually. I'm like mowing the lawn. Yeah.
While you know, pick up the sheets.
Yeah, Maggie tends to, yeah.
Okay.
This is a point of tension because she's always like, what are you doing outside? I'm like, well, people are going to be outside too. You know, lawn needs to be mowed, babe.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's like, oh, come on, get inside.
Clean a toilet, Anthony. What to clean before the guests arrive. If you're hosting for the holidays, make sure you check all of these tasks off your list, and it should only take you 15 minutes. Let's see what it is. All right, first of all. Okay, so this is what I've seen too, by the way, before we get into this list. Go through your house as if you were a guest. Like, pretend like you've never seen anything in your house before you do this walkthrough. Number one, tidy up your entryway. Tidy up your drop zone, of course. Take off the jackets that you're not using. Yeah. Put the shoes away, line them up. Hide the mail that you don't want everybody to be sorting through if it's right there by your entry. Restock and freshen your powder room.
Yeah.
Also,
make sure there's like a full roll of toilet paper and then a backup roll somewhere in that powder room. Yeah. Gabby's giving me the nod of approval there, right?
Because that is the space, the only time that your guest is going to be in your house without anybody around, and they're going to be looking. And, you know, the dust on the floor. I also heard this tip, clean the toilet, the base of your toilet. I don't know if people are crazy and look at that stuff, but how clean are these people? What's the toilet look like along the floor? All right, let's see. Clear the kitchen table, of course.
Yep.
Clear out the kitchen sink. So get those dishes going in the dishwasher.
Get them in the dishwasher, get them put away.
Fluff the throw pillows, fold blankets, straighten up your coffee table, vacuum and sweep your living room and kitchen, of course. Refresh the guest room and add a festive fragrance.
All right, first of all, that's not 15 minutes. Okay, vacuum and sweep, I mean, okay, all that's at least an hour.
Vacuuming and, all of these
things? All those things you just mentioned. This is not 15
minutes. It depends on where your house is at before you have to do all these things.
Yeah.
My question to you is, this is something that Grady and I disagree on. When you have guests come and stay at your house, you change those sheets every time.
Oh, yeah.
You have to wash them.
Yeah.
Grady will be like, no, your parents slept in there once, and now my sister's coming to stay. You don't need to wash these sheets.
You know what? Listen, Grady, I'm with you if it's the parents coming back.
No, if it's the parent,
if it's the same, like, DNA coming back or whatever, then I think he's right. Okay. But if it's anyone different, no. You've got to do the whole thing.
You got to wash that comforter.
Yeah.
Even if it was slept in once.
You got to do it. You have to do it. I think you and I are on the same page on that. Have you ever had a bad experience? You don't need to name names or anything, Caitlin, but staying with a friend or family where things are a little, maybe could have given you a little...
I'm not sharing this. You tell me, Anthony.
I can't
you tell me. Tell me your bad experiences. Come on. What's like the worst part about
I'm going to do it.
I'm going
to do it without naming names. So there was one time we were staying off-site, I'll just say off-site, and the adults outsourced the cleaning responsibility to the kids.
What?
To the 14-year-old kids. And how thorough is a 14-year-old going to be?
Like before
yeah, like, hey guys, clean up before.
So it was dirty. It was,
yeah.
Well, you just gave it away. You said that was very specific. It was dirty before I got there.
Scrub the footage.
Oh, my
Scrub the footage,
gosh.
no. But I do think that you need to, for sure, do the make the bed. And then whatever bathroom the guests are going to be using, especially if they're staying over, that bathroom, you need to give that thing a solid once over, okay?
Yeah.
Even if it's just bust out the Clorox wipes, get everything wiped down. You know what I mean? Swish out the toilet.
Yeah.
This actually is like a 15-minute deal. It doesn't take that long to get things presentable.
Well, so we just hosted this past weekend, and Grady was like, let's just do it right now. We'll get it done. So I was like, all right, you tackle upstairs, I'll get the downstairs. And it did take a long time. But like, I'm talking, we've got like a fake leather couch, like spraying down the couch, doing like the thorough wipe.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We've got 2 giant dogs and 3 kids. So we had to wipe down the whole place.
Part of me likes hosting because it gives you nothing motivates like a deadline. We know that in journalism here. Nothing motivates like a deadline. And when you have a deadline of, hey, so-and-so is coming to visit, you will get that couch sprayed down. You will get the things you've been putting off, you'll do it.
You know what I would also like to say is I feel bad visiting other people because I don't want them to feel pressured to like have to go out of their way and clean things up. Like last night I did a drop-in with my neighbor and I thought, I hope she's not like rushing around the house trying to like pick, because I don't care. You know? I don't care. You don't have to clean up for me.
You got to do the bare minimum, though. I'm not trying to put pressure on any
Anthony,
future host for me. You got to do the bare. You got to do some bare minimum. Just
that toilet was gross, wasn't it?
Listen,
the toilet was gross. There was hair in the.
I'm already worried I got myself in trouble here. But so we're gonna go to break, and we're gonna bring in our reinforcements here in the form of Gabby and Tia. They're waiting in the wings for another hour of Chicago Now. Happy Tuesday morning, everybody. We will see you right back here mañana.
It's one of those.
The 11 o'clock hour, Chicago Now. We're just chatting up with Caitlin and Anthony. There's never enough time for us to cross through and have some conversation.
But it's okay. We're here.
We're here with you all.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great day.
I'm
looking forward to it.
Yeah.
A little gloomy outside.
A little gloomy, but you know, at least the rain has stopped and we can just look forward to the sun to come hopefully tomorrow.
Chicago's beautiful though. It doesn't matter if it's raining, if it's snowing. The city is just gorgeous. And there's always people at the Bean, no matter what the circumstances are. Yeah, look, a little baby.
I guess it is chilly.
Taking some pictures and whatnot. Okay, we got to talk about what's coming up on the show today. We have a jam-packed show for you. Bitcoin is an investment that a lot of people have gotten in on. Some changes are involving Bitcoin. We're learning yesterday some big changes in terms of Bitcoin. Will the bottom drop out? I think that is the big question. We're going to talk to an expert all about that. And we're also experiencing Wrigley Field, I think from a point of view that we've never really seen. This is a vendor who's gone viral on TikTok, recording some really cool stuff and also recording some really impressive sales for 2025. So we're going to talk to him. But first, we got to talk about these tariffs and are they actually impacting your holiday season? We're talking about toys, technology, etc.
Well, Tia, we know that Trump imposed tariffs, back in April. And so some companies were kind of stockpiling some stuff. Now those stockpiles have depleted. And prices are changing. So we're going to bring in someone to talk about holiday shopping with New York Times Wirecutter reporter Anne-Marie Conti. Thank you so much, Anne-Marie, for joining the program.
Such a pleasure to be here.
I think we're getting to the point where hopefully the people who plan ahead are already buying their Christmas gifts. I already know Tia's plan, but like me, someone who waits last minute, these tariffs are probably going to cause a little bit of trouble. So overall, to what extent are the tariffs impacting holiday shopping this year?
So prices have gone up across the board, but we are still seeing sales. Basically, there will always be sales. And what's happening is Amazon is actually launching those sales earlier. So they started launching sales in October, and then traditionally there's a little bit of a lull, and then they will wait until traditionally Thanksgiving or Black Friday. And they're actually announcing that they're dropping hundreds of prices starting the 20th, which is a full week before Black Friday, before Thanksgiving. So we are seeing sales, but those sale prices might not be the best you've ever seen. One example is that PlayStation just announced that the PS5 will be on sale. It's going to be back to retail pricing for 2020. So it's a deal for us now, because prices have gone up so much, but it's not the lowest price we've ever seen.
You know, it's crazy because Anne Marie, I was just simply looking for some shoes and I was like, man, the prices of like a suede knee-high boot is like through the roof. This is crazy. So my question to you is, that's just one item that we're talking about. Are there other items that are often on people's Christmas wish list that will be higher this year? And what specific items are we talking about? Is it electronics? Is it, you know, home improvement? Are there certain ones that are higher than others?
Yes, we're definitely seeing it in clothing and apparel. So right on with the boots. They have gone up. A lot of that comes from abroad. A lot of it is made with materials that prices have gone up. Things like gold is at, you know, record highs. And so prices on all of those have gone up. But as, you know, as I said before, we are seeing deals. So things like countertop appliances, like the Vitamix, that traditionally do go on sale during these times, are going on sale. So right now we're seeing a Vitamix on sale. Again, they're trying to push people to shop earlier, and part of that is because it is Thanksgiving and Black Friday are so close to the holidays. It's, you know, just a couple weeks off of Hanukkah, and then just a few more weeks off of Christmas. So to get that stuff out and shipped to you, these retailers are really trying to drop those prices to get people to buy.
And you know, this might be silly, but Tia asked, you know, what might be impacted the most, but are there items that you maybe should be looking out for that could still be a good gift that's maybe a little more safe from the tariffs?
Nothing is safe from the tariffs, but all of the categories we're seeing across the board have gone up, some a little, some bigger, and we are seeing sales on traditional gifts and things that people buy, like TVs. Those are going on sale right now. The Breville air fryer that we recommend is at $300, so that's a good price. And we're seeing a few other things like holiday-themed items, like you could get a Christmas tree right now on sale for. Our pick is from the National Tree Company, and that is only $346. So that's at a really good price. So there are deals to be found across the board on categories across the board, but you just have to know where to look and know who to trust.
Anne Marie, I want to ask you where people can save, but I want to take a quick break. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere, and we'll be right back.
Wait.
There's been a lot of warning, welcome back to Chicago Now, about the tariffs impacting our holiday shopping, and now as we're getting closer, we are seeing some of them. To help us navigate and hopefully get the best deal, we have Anne Marie Conti coming back with us with a New York Times Wirecutter. She's a reporter. Thank you so much again. And Tia, you were going to ask a pretty hard-hitting question that we know everyone wants to know the answer to.
Yeah, like how can people save? Like what is if you had to give a piece of advice where people can go maybe to shop, if they hold out maybe a little longer, wait until maybe in the following year for some items, where can they save the most?
I really think that price tracking is incredibly important. So when you are looking at the items that you want to buy, whether it's apparel, beauty products, anything across the board, anything that makes a great gift, you really want to know what the price is generally, because what will often happen is that these retailers will increase the price before these major deal events and make it look like it's a better deal than it actually is when they do drop the price. So you can see here, they have increased prices across the board. Sometimes it's a few dollars. Sometimes, especially with categories like earbuds, it's as much as $20, sometimes more. And so you really want to have a sense of what the average price has been. Now, you can do that yourself. There are lots of tools. You can create a list in Google Shopping. You can use a service like Keepa, which does the tracking for you. You can look at Wirecutter. Our deals team tracks prices every day of the year on our picks, so we have a sense of what is a good price for something, and we only put those items that are truly a deal on our deals page. And so knowing and empowering yourself to understand what a deal is really important. And there are items that I have to buy quickly, and so I'll use a service like Keepa to check the pricing. And then there are others where I know that I have someone's birthday coming up in a few months, and so I will start tracking that early, and I will know when to pull the trigger and when to actually buy.
So pretty much tracking helps you spot these inflating prices, pretty much, or inflated prices.
100%.
Let me ask you, does Wirecutter track anything in terms of like your credit card use? Because I know, like, what I mean by that is in some cases when you use a credit card with certain vendors, certain places that you shop, maybe for Macy's, let's just go Macy's for example, they may already have a coupon that is available to the general public, but if you use your credit card now, Macy's or not, you may get an additional coupon. Are there little tips and tricks you can give for that?
Yes, 100%. If you have a retailer credit card, they're definitely giving incentives. Amazon, for example, will give you an incentive, 6% back, sometimes 7% back on your credit card, just for holding out and waiting a little longer for shipping so that they don't have to ship it immediately. So if you have maybe a week before you need to receive it and you're planning ahead, that will get money back on your credit card statement. They also, credit card companies have incentives, like you said, where you can look. I always check before I purchase something from a retailer site. I will check to see if my credit card has a specific incentive for that site, and then that will give me sometimes a $10 statement credit, and that's a really great way to save. All of these are incremental savings that will build up, especially at a time when you're shopping a lot, to significant savings.
No kidding. Okay, people, I mean, I'm learning a lot right now, and I know that Wirecutter, you guys are doing a lot over there to make sure people are informed. What kind of stories are you guys posting? You know, people are at home are wanting more information just like this. What do you have coming up that might help folks, and what do you have already published that people should look out for?
So I wrote a story just about this topic, about the tariffs and how they're affecting. There's even more tips in that story. And then our deals team is tracking every single day. So as we get closer to the major deal event, you'll see roundups and specific things that help you shop and see what's on sale. And then our gifts team is just incredible, and they have so many good ideas. I am a nervous gift giver, so checking their recommendations always helps me and gives me great ideas. And one other great tip that one of our gifts writers told me about is that if there's something that's really expensive, like a luxury item, she had a beautiful Dansk bowl that she wanted to buy, and it was several $100s. She looked on eBay and she got it for $60. So if you're willing to buy used, you know, think of it as pre-loved rather than used. You can really have significant savings there too. So we have lots of information at Wirecutter for that.
That is good advice.
That was really good advice. Anne-Marie, I want to ask you this because you're kind of like on the forefront of all of this. You know, a lot of people go into debt when they get into these holidays shopping, buying stuff that they can't afford. And that carries through the new year, right? Because we're so close to the new year. If you had to give a piece of advice to someone based on everything that you've seen, one that is smart, one that is still, you know, encompassing all the things that the holidays bring, what would you say people should consider? And that may be a tough question, but I figured I'd ask.
No, the holidays are really, they're about love and they're about giving, right? And so small personalized items are so much more significant than anything big, than a giant pile under the tree. And so we really like the idea of small, thoughtful, heartfelt gifts. Sometimes we'll start jotting things down throughout the year, and sometimes it's the $5 item that's going to be more significant than anything bigger. I just got my friend a $6 ornament that I know is just going to be perfect for her, and it's just a little thinking of you gift, and that's better than anything I could spend hundreds of dollars on.
That is true. Also, an experience is such a good gift to have together, or just quality time. You know, I might ask you another, tough question. It might be your own opinion, honestly, Anne-Marie, because like I said, when we came back from the break, we've been looking, forward to Christmas and knowing that the tariffs are going to, impact holiday shopping. In your opinion, is are things more than you expected them to be? You know, is it more steady maybe than you guys expected?
It's definitely been less of a jump than we expected, but what happens is that it's sort of like death by a thousand cuts, right? So if everything is a little bit more expensive, you start spending so much more than you even realize because you're just going about your natural spending habits. And so for me, really taking a step back and thinking about it and being really thoughtful about who I'm giving to and what and where. And as you said, really prioritizing experiences and being together. I bought at Costco the other day an on-sale canister of vanilla beans, and I'm going to make some vanilla extract for my baker friends this year. And I think that's the sort of thing that if you just spend a few moments thinking ahead, it can be a really nice way to share time together and share experiences together.
Okay,
I love it.
Little ornament, also.
Vanilla bean
extract.
She's on top of it.
You got it going on, Anne-Marie. Thank you so much for joining us. You know, are there any like maybe take-home messages that you should have for people? I know you answered Tia's question, but is it really just making sure you're catching up with Wirecutter as we get closer to the holiday season?
Yes, we would love all eyes on our content. We really do. We firmly believe that we want people to be informed. So we will tell you the pros and cons of an item so that you really feel good about purchasing it before you do, and you understand any downsides that might exist with that product. And because we never want people to return things or be disappointed in them, we really want them to buy it and love it and own it for a really long time. And one of the big stories that I just did that came out yesterday, in fact, is about what exactly happens to all of those returned goods. It was absolutely fascinating, and it's definitely something that's food for thought.
I haven't read it yet, but I know a lot of businesses have started based off of all of these returns, so I'll have to go read that. What's the website, Anne-Marie, if somebody does want to read your content?
NewYorkTimes.com/Wirecutter will get you there, and we look forward to helping everybody shop smarter this season.
Okay. All right, it was a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's really, really fun having me. Really loved it.
We look forward to having you back.
And happy holidays.
Yeah, happy holidays to you. It's crazy because when I think about it, there are a lot of people, we talk about it on this show, we've talked about how much you're spending at the grocery store, right? We've talked about gas prices in certain communities going up, and here we are talking about tariffs. And I'm not Anne-Marie, right? I'm not a writer. I don't write on this stuff, but common sense tells me what you should not do is go into debt over a holiday. I know your kids will want certain things, my kids want certain things, and I'm gonna be honest, I went into one of our daughter's rooms the other day, and a couple of years ago, she wanted a hoverboard.
Yeah.
She got on that hoverboard one time. It was dusted in the closet. So my point is, you know, be intentional, be smart about your money, but don't go into debt. You know, tax bills just came out. They're through the roof in the Chicagoland area. So, you know, you can celebrate the holidays. I'm not trying to be doom, gloom, boom, but you can celebrate the holidays responsibly. And I think really this year, just looking at the landscape of our world, really the message should be togetherness. Coming together, kind of like Anne-Marie, being intentional about your gift giving, but not breaking the bank, buying all this crazy expensive stuff.
I think like we talked about yesterday, we had that that author on who said that, especially moms, I think all parents, grandparents, caregivers, whoever it might be, don't give themselves much grace when it comes to holidays because they're under so much pressure to make everything perfect. But a message after message says it doesn't matter actually, because the hoverboard might be in the closet in the next couple of years, but guess what won't be? You know, your tradition of making cookies together. I
agree.
Of having that hot chocolate, sitting by the fire, the elf, you know, whatever it might be.
This is a conversation I have with your kids too right now.
It is.
About, you know, I understand you have this laundry list. There's a lot going on in the world, and maybe this is a good time to explain to your children, you know, because I know a lot of kids, including some of mine, who always want, you know, and it's more than the want. You know, this is the season of giving, and there's a lot of people way less fortunate than us who definitely are in need. So don't just be such a gift grabber. You know, oh, I want all this stuff. I'm sorry, if it's up to my wallet, I can't speak for what my husband's gonna do, but if it's my wallet, you ain't getting it.
Yeah, I'm
just being honest. Sorry, kids, you'll get something, but it won't be a plethora of things under the tree.
Yeah, thousands and thousands worth of gifts.
Yeah, no. All right, we got to talk Bitcoin.
Yeah, we are.
Coming up.
Hopefully we can get a lot of Bitcoin and then make some money for those gifts. All right, we'll be right back after this break.
Mother.
Welcome back to Chicago Now. If you hold any Bitcoin, you've seen this roller coaster ride. It's been up, then it slightly goes down, and then it's back up, and then it's back down. We just checked.
And then it's down and down today.
Yeah, and we just checked $93,000 and some change right now. So that's where we are with Bitcoin. But a lot of people, there it is right there on your screen. A lot of people still lump Bitcoin in with the rest of crypto, which can make that investment route seem really risky. Brandon Karpelis left his job as a senior VP at Wintrust to find and create this company called Sovereign, which helps educate people about Bitcoin. You're joining us via Zoom. We thank you so much for your time. I do want to ask you, you left this senior position at Wintrust Bank. What made you take that leap to begin with?
So thank you guys for having me. Pleasure to be here, first of all. And I had gone on a journey of understanding what money really was, and given my job at Wintrust Financials, I'm sure many of the watchers here know, is a commercial banking institution here in Chicagoland. And my entire job was working in money, and I realized I didn't really understand what money was. And you know, we all kind of just accept the dollar as our money, but the dollar's only been money for a very short period of time when viewed through the lens of human history. And it was gold for many years. It was different currencies before the US dollar. And as I worked in the space and saw that the Federal Reserve really took control of the economy and set interest rates at 0% for a very long time and really flooded our economy with a lot of dollars. And that accelerated in 2020 as the COVID had happened, and they put a lot of stimulus into society to try to make up for the shutdown economy and the supply chain backups and all these sorts of things. And it really came to understand that Bitcoin was an alternative to the current fiat monetary system, where many units of the currency are printed at the whims of a small group of individuals. And once I began to grasp that and really understand that and the implications for society as a whole, the difference between money that holds its value over time based on a fixed supply versus value that loses its money that loses its value over time, coming to the realization that such a small portion of society even realizes this. You know, it's the classic fish and water example. All the fish are swimming around and they don't even realize that they're in water. And I just decided that I really needed to take this upon myself to go out and help business owners. My previous job was dealing with distressed businesses, troubled businesses, and I watched a lot of them really struggle with inflation and not understand why they were struggling with inflation and the harm it caused their business. And I made a decision after many months of consideration, talking with my wife, that I wanted to go full-time, help businesses, join Sovereign as the CEO, and help companies come to understand why they're being hurt by inflation, and then the solution to that problem, which is Bitcoin.
Well, you know, part of your message I've read is that you should study Bitcoin, not just buy it. What do you mean by that? And why should small businesses, I guess, care about Bitcoin? You know, like you said, I guess it is the future, right?
Well, there's many reasons small businesses should care about Bitcoin. We can get into a few of those here. But when I say study Bitcoin, you need to have a fundamental understanding of what you're dealing with. It is not some other investment. It's not a tech stock. It's not a commodity. It is a digital money that has its own network enforced by a open source software protocol that is distributed across the world by tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people running software. And you need to understand that, and you need to understand that the fixed supply, the 21 million Bitcoin, is credibly enforced by this network, by this software, so that when you have really high volatility, like anyone paying attention to Bitcoin at all has seen, that you understand that this is a long-term value proposition. This isn't a 5 to 10 month solution. This is a 5 to 10 year, a 50 year to 100 year, 1,000 year solution to a monetary problem we've been plagued with forever. And once you understand that, it makes stomaching the volatility, knowing the asset you hold, much easier. That this is not a trade. Yeah. This is not a way to try to get more dollars. This is a way to preserve your purchasing power into the future over a really long time horizon. And if you don't understand that, you're gonna get shaken out of your position. You're gonna sell when it has a big drop, and then you're gonna buy when it has a big rise, and it's gonna be a roller coaster as opposed to viewing this through a long time frame.
Yeah, this is a situation where you would hold. Brandon, I do want to ask you about Bitcoin because it has been in the news for the last 24 hours. Some people are calling it a crypto winter. I want to get your opinion about that after we take this quick break.
We are down.
Welcome back. We are still talking about Bitcoin, and we're bringing in Brandon Karpeles, who's the founder of Sovereign. And, you know, Tia just mentioned it, and we were talking about the number just right now, how much a coin is. 93,000 is what we saw.
93,000 and some change.
It is like a Bitcoin winter right now. What are you seeing with the trends? What can you tell people at home who might really see the number high a few weeks ago and then now see this number much lower?
I would say to look at that exact chart you have up on that screen there. You're going to have peaks and valleys along the way, but what's that chart doing? Up and to the right forever. And that's because Bitcoin has a fixed supply of 21 million, and the US dollar has an infinite supply of, it's anyone's guess. We don't even know how much money's out there today. They constantly have to make more money because we are in a debt-based monetary system, and you need more dollars to service the debt that is issued to create the underlying currency. So I would say this is par for the course. You know, you look at the little dip here. It's, you know, many of us got in when it was, you know, it'll be the same thing 10 years from now when we're going to go, oh my gosh, it was at 93,000, and it'll be at 930,000 at that point in time. And it's going to seem laughable that we, you know, went down from 125 to 93, just like it was laughable when we went from 11K down to 65, or excuse me, 11K down to 6,500. So this is all par for the course. Zoom out, long time frame, like I talked at the beginning of this. These are just blips and valleys. There's all sorts of different factors. There's macro factors. There's amount of currency units swirling around. There's wars. There's trade wars. There's disruptions in supply chains, commodity prices, et cetera, et cetera. It's all why you see those up and downs along the way, but over time, it's just up and to the right forever.
So I guess Bitcoin is kind of on sale right now.
Well, well, depending on, who's holding the purse strings, yes, but we're just looking at on that screen we had, you were talking long-term projections, and we did see it at the 6,000 mark, and you're right, it's moving all the way to the right, going up, ebbs and flows, and overall, though, I know people are saying that it wiped out all of its 2025 gains, but if you look at that chart, you're in the right place right now. If you just hold, be patient, you're in a good spot. I do want to ask you about this part. You did talk about, starting Sovereign. How can business owners that are watching right now get involved in this? And then tell them what the benefits are.
So sure, Sovereign is the organization I'm the CEO of. We're at sovereign.io, as spelled on my shirt, and the name there, SOVREIGN.io. We offer professional services to businesses to help educate them about Bitcoin, to help get them a proper Bitcoin setup in terms of storage, accepting payments, and then ultimately we provide some strategy as well for the businesses to begin integrating it into long-term capital structures, employee benefits, et cetera, et cetera. But at the end of the day, I'm sure many people have heard the news that came out last week that Square, many places using Square terminals in across the nation, that Square turned on the ability to accept Bitcoin for payments. So that is one super easy way to do it. If you're a merchant, if you're a retailer, and you have a point of sale system and you're using Square, you can turn that on. If you're not using Square, you can consider switching. Or there's a whole host of other options as well, which is what we help businesses do, and we cater the best option to them based on their needs. But it's really about educating the company owners about the different options that are available to them, and that's what we do at Sovereign.
And I mean, how big of a deal is that to see that started on November 10th, that Square Incorporated now being able to accept Bitcoin with zero fees? Do you see now other or expect other businesses, other offers to offer the same thing, to accept Bitcoin?
Absolutely. I mean, we've already seen a growing number of businesses accepting it even before the Square terminal rollout. And I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but the Square is the company that owns Cash App, and Cash App has a map within its app to see the businesses that have turned on the Bitcoin option, and that number is exploding, and it's only been 7 days or 8 days since they launched that. So we're already seeing incredible growth in the amount of merchants accepting it, and I just expect that trend to continue. And this is kind of the game theory part of Bitcoin playing out. You're going to have business owners, they're going to go to someone like a Toast or a Clover or a pick your POS integration that's not accepting Bitcoin and start demanding it from them, because they may start losing business to other people or customers that used to go there saying, hey, I'm going to the other place because they're accepting Bitcoin. And all this is going to take a long time to play out, like everything in Bitcoin, but it's beginning to happen now, and this is sort of the first step in a journey of Bitcoin becoming peer-to-peer cash and reducing the friction significantly. It was certainly possible for business owners to do this before, but now the friction level has been reduced to effectively zero with this rollout.
Being that you left your position as a senior VP of a bank, and now you're pushing Bitcoin and crypto in some ways, where do you see this going? Based off the information that happened on November 10th, the acceptance of Bitcoin on Square, where do you see Bitcoin and crypto going versus the US dollar?
Well, so first of all, we spent a significant amount of time delineating between Bitcoin and crypto. Bitcoin is money, crypto is a tech stock at best and a scam at worst. So they're completely different things. They're not even in the same league, the same ballpark. They should not be ever said together. That being said, you know, it's my belief and many of the people who are hardcore believers in Bitcoin that one day Bitcoin will be the world reserve currency. It will replace the US dollar, just as the dollar replaced the British pound, which replaced the Spanish currency. And so we go through these changes in world reserve currencies all the time, and it's just depending on what's the most reliable, what's the most liquid. And it's our belief that that will be Bitcoin one day. Is it going to be in a decade, 2 decades? No one knows. Maybe it's 50 years from now, maybe it's 70 years from now. But one day that will be the case, and we're just living through that transformation right now. So it's been, it'll be 17 years since Bitcoin launched in January of next year, and we're in year 17 of this transformation, and that's all that's going on right now.
I want to go back to something that you said, because I do think it's important, because people that don't know about Bitcoin, they do confuse it with cryptocurrency. You said that cryptocurrency is a scam. You've had coins like the Dogecoin, et cetera, come out. People make a quick buck, and then, you know, it's down in the dumps again. You say, what do you say to people that are, you know, looking at cryptocurrency and looking at Bitcoin and getting them confused? Why should they not put their money into crypto?
So as I was explaining, that Bitcoin is money. It is the only cryptocurrency out there that is money. Everything else is doesn't have any utility. There's no utility for it. And the Bitcoin's utility is that it's money. And that's what's going on here. And none of the other tokens are competing for money. And there's not actually anything you can do with them. So they get these run-ups, like you mentioned, they pull them out, they get these huge marketing budgets, they get massive backing from VCs and investors, and what they're able to do is to raise the price because they got a bunch of money that came in, they bought a bunch of these tokens, or they issued these tokens themselves, and then set a market price of these tokens because a bunch of dollars came into the system where they can buy these tokens. And you have a completely fake and fraudulent market that was created by money that came in from venture capitalists or outside sources. Bitcoin's never had any of that. The first block was mined by Satoshi running software on his computer, and every block after that has been mined. Someone had to spend real-world energy to get the blocks. And the only money that comes in is people willing to part with their dollars for those tokens. There's no VC funding. There's no anything. There's no propping up of the network with marketing budgets or anything like that. It's completely grassroots. It's completely from the ground up, and none of the other crypto coins are anything like that.
Yeah, no value. I get exactly what you're saying. All right, well, Brandon Karpeles, you have been absolutely amazing. We appreciate you coming on our show today.
Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate having me.
All right, thank you. Well, coming up, we got to talk about, I'm sure you have seen his videos on social media. He's been a vendor at Wrigley Field since 2015. He's here in studio. Jonah is going to talk all things statistics with us right after this break. We'll see you on the other side.
In life,
And it's time to recap my vending statistics from the 2025 year at Wrigley Field. I have an Excel spreadsheet of my sales dating back all the way to 2016. I keep very detailed records, so let's dive right into it.
Detailed records, he says.
And we actually have those detailed records, too, right here with them. Maybe we're going to have to pull them out. You may have seen him on social media. Jonah Fialkow has been a vendor at Wrigley Field since 2015. He's here in studio to talk about his experience and break down some of the stats from this past season. And yeah, it's kind of silly. We're talking about baseball season here now. We're, what, in November? But you know what? Your stats, it can be talked about all year round because it's pretty impressive.
57 events vended.
57. Not just games, though. 2 were concerts, 5 of the games were playoff series out of the 51, and 4 were those golf events that were Wrigley that were really fun. Let's talk about it, Jonah. I mean, how long you've been, well, we already know how long you've been working at Wrigley, but how did you start doing this? Like, what told you, like, hey, look, I'm going to go and this is what I'm going to do?
Yeah, great question.
Math whiz?
Yeah.
I did grow up loving math.
Okay,
that is true.
okay.
But I am a diehard Cubs fan through and through. Grew up on the north side of Chicago, or north suburb of Chicago in Northbrook. And when I was 18, I had nothing to do over the summer before college. So 2 of my buddies and I were like, oh, let's go work at Wrigley Field. That would be fun. And one of my friend's dads used to be a vendor, so he put us in contact with the people that run the vending operation. And I sent him an email. I'm like, hey, I'm a diehard Cubs fan. I got 3 months until I head off to the University of Illinois. I would love to work for you. And they said, all right, we need people to sell some soda and hot dogs. And I said, sign me up. Here we are 11 years later.
So you've kept an Excel spreadsheet of every event, all 57. So I got to ask you, you have it with you.
Got it with me.
How many hot dogs have you sold?
Oh man, in total, I only sold hot dogs 7 times this year. I believe.
7 times this year.
And I think I was averaging just under 200 hot dogs per game. So I think the official number was somewhere around 1,250 total hot dogs sold.
And this is literally from your hands to someone else's hands.
Bingo.
Wow, you touched a lot of people.
Certainly did.
And we'll get into the way that you actually are catching people's attention. But you also, I heard something about frozen margaritas.
Oh, that sounds
item
so
that you're
good
good
right
at
now.
selling.
Oh, my favorite.
What about? I mean, what? How do you even sell a frozen margarita when you're going around the stands?
I'll tell you. Frozen margaritas, strawberry daiquiris. Who's ready for margs?
You know what? I'm running to you.
Yeah, I am too. What do you do for the hot dogs?
So what I've learned is there's so many things going on at a baseball game. Yeah. Like you got to get someone's attention first. So I will start every call out with like a E, so it breaks the attention. Everyone looks at me, and then I'll go, E, hot dogs! And that's how every call goes.
I absolutely love it. What about the others? Is there anything else? Beer?
Yeah, ice cold beer man, who's ready? Hey, Goose Island 312 IPA, who's ready beer? Hey, the beer man is here. So where people will leave the vendors in their section and come seek me out to buy specifically from me. So if I had to guess, I would say I'm probably in the top 25% of sellers on a daily basis, but there are some OG vendors that have been there 50 or 60 years, perfecting their craft, so I still have a long ways to go.
But Jonah, you now have a killer social media presence too. You've been able to take this online, and people are recognizing you at the games now, right?
Oh yeah, it's I can't go a section without someone recognizing me and giving me a shout out.
Do you think a lot of these people, are they saying, put me in a video?
Regularly.
They want to be on video too? Yeah, I would think that would be
and I encourage it. I want more fan content. The whole reason I started making these videos was to connect Cubs fans to each other and share kind of like a behind the scenes look at what it's like to be a vendor, because everyone knows a beer vendor, everyone's purchased a hot dog from someone, but you don't really know what goes on behind the scenes. So I encourage the fans to get involved, and I try to answer people's questions and give them an inside look.
Well, let's talk cold hard numbers here, because it says season totals. Yeah, and that's what I was going to ask you, because I was like, okay, well, why are you doing this? Like, why so much energy? That makes sense. Tia,
how much?
$130,000 worth of food and drinks. This is just this season?
That's net sales. That's not what I'm taking home.
Okay, well, yes.
But yes.
You get a commission out.
Or else I would also be going over to
right.
today. I think every day.
Just this season.
Over 9,000 items sold. Okay, and that amount of money made in sales equals just under 1% of Kyle Tucker's 2025 Cubs contract. Sorry about that one.
Yeah.
He's making a little bit more.
Oh, I'm hoping that maybe, listen, whatever we need to do to bring him back to the team, I'll work 3 shifts. I'll carry 3 bags of hot dogs to try to fund his contract. So that was kind of my running joke during the years. I'm going to sell enough beer to support a Kyle Tucker extension.
I have to ask you, your calls. Did you practice those at home in the mirror? Like, how did you perfect those call outs?
Phenomenal question. When I started in 2015, I was a shy little 18-year-old. My first ever game, I was selling soda in the upper deck.
How many did you sell? You remember?
I think it was 17. It was, I don't think I said a word. It was so nerve-wracking. I mean, you look up and you've got 3,000 people around you, and what I'm supposed to say, hey, Pepsi, who's ready for a soda? As an 18-year-old, I was ill-prepared for that. And then after a couple weeks, you start to get a little more comfortable, and then you start to, I turned 21 and I could sell alcohol, so then it's a whole nother, how am I gonna sell alcohol? It's a whole different audience. And I feel like I've done a decent job. Everyone's call is, it's kind of like art. No 2 calls are the same. So I would listen to some other vendors that I idolize and see how they sell. We've got Mark, the singing vendor, who will sing jingles. He's probably got 100 jingles. So you need an ice cold here, a Bud Light, it's right here. You're gonna drink it right here. A wiser beer for me. Who needs a beer?
I do.
Beautiful. You're ready. Yeah. We'll see you at Wrigley Field.
You know what? We need to talk more about your social media, where people can find you. But also, I mean, another level, Mr. Jonah, there are a lot of stairs over in Wrigley. I mean, you're getting a workout as well. All right, we're going to take a quick little break, and then we're going to continue with Jonah right after this.
Welcome back.
Hot dog. I can't do it as well as Jonah.
Yeah, but we need to do our practice and get prepared for this. So, Jonah, give us one more of the calls. Give us the hot dog and the frozen margarita so we can get prepped up.
Okay, I got you. All right, so hot dog. So you got to come up with like the signature, how are you going to break the sound ice? So, hot dogs, hot dogs.
Okay, and the margarita?
And margaritas is just, who's ready for margs?
Okay.
Yeah,
you ready?
Perfect.
Go ahead. What you got? You gonna do hot dog or margarita?
Oh, wait, I need a jingle too. I mean, this is a classic when you think
Come
hot
on,
dog.
you gotta call first.
Hot dog, diggity dog.
Okay.
Come on, Wrigley Field. What you
We're talking about a call.
That'll work.
Hey,
That'll play for sure.
Other guy.
You don't want to do the call?
Hot dog.
Frozen margarita!
Take my money.
That's just his show.
No, but that's perfect. That is, you're an expert. Yeah. What are you doing? What are you doing in April?
I'm down.
We're getting you hired. That was stellar.
That was
unbelievable strategy.
too much.
Hot dog! I don't know what I would do, but that's fun. That's actually fun to do.
It's so fun. Oh, and just like the interacting with the fans, it fuels me. My two favorite loves in life, Chicago Cubs baseball and people. And I get to do both of them at Wrigley Field.
I love it. Look at, yeah, there you are stretching, because I was going to ask you you have to be physically fit, obviously, to sell hot dogs and beer. Let's not lie about it.
Yeah, it's a demanding job. Obviously I'm tracking my steps too, as someone does that has a giant Excel spreadsheet of everything. But I'm averaging like 8,000 or 9,000 steps and 40 flights of stairs, carrying 20
What's
to
the pounds? Yeah.
Yeah, like if generally it's 24 beers or 50 hot dogs. The hot dog's much lighter, but it's probably like 35 pounds is my guess.
How does your neck feel after it's all said and done?
Not phenomenal. but I can handle it for 6 months and then get a couple massages in there. Yeah, and we're good.
What else about your technique? Because $130,000 worth of food and drinks, people, is what Noah sold this season. Jonah.
It's okay. It's another. Listen, this is topical because it's at Jewish Jonah on social media. Noah, another biblical Jewish name.
Yeah, that's true. She's had a margarita.
You know a couple of silence underneath the chair. But what's your technique when you're actually going, other than obviously getting people's attention, but are you making eye contact with people in the stands? Are you trying to make them feel uncomfortable, or are they just coming to you?
I wouldn't say, I mean, I am not afraid of rejection by any means, so I will.
You can't be.
No, you can't be. And it's taught me very practical, real life sales and soft skills. My goal is to not make people uncomfortable, but I certainly will try to upsell. You know, when someone says, like, oh, I'll have a hot dog, that's not the end of my discussion with them. The next question is always, how many? And every time they will turn to the people next to them and say, oh, do you want a hot dog? And I would venture to guess 75% of the time, I'm selling at least more than one hot dog.
I have to ask you one question before we let you go. You said you're in college. You were in college.
I was.
What's your future? What's up with you? What's up?
It's a great question.
I just figured that out.
What's right with you?
Because you're really, because you're good at, numbers and stuff. I figure it's something with possibly numbers.
I do. I'm a huge numbers guy. Completely unrelated to the vending and the baseball and hot dog sales. I run a fantasy gaming company.
Exactly my point.
It's for reality TV shows instead of sports.
What? Really?
Yeah, so
Jonah.
That's cool.
It's fun. Yeah, I love it. I got a great gig going. And it's the entrepreneurial world. I love the grind of it. I don't sleep a ton, but the high energy lifestyle of sales and running your own company and now social media brand is
I knew
great.
that's why I said what's up with you. I knew
there
it was
something
okay. Incredible. So are we talking Love Island?
Oh yeah.
Okay, got
certainly.
it. Okay, perfect.
All right, one more time. Where can people find your social media so they can follow you?
At Jewish Jonah, wherever you get your short form video. Actually, I have business cards for you guys. That self-proclaimed expert beer and hot dog vendor here.
That's what it says.
With a little QR code that will take you to my link tree, which then you can find me on social media anywhere. I pass that out in the stands because people will, someone will stand up and recognize me. They'll be like, oh my God, it's Jewish Jonah. And the people around them are like, what did you just say to that guy? I'm like, no, it's okay. I make content. That's my handle.
I love it.
But
Thanks for your support. Go Cubs.
Got the best job in the world. Go Cubs, go is right.
We got to have you come back.
I'll be around. You know where to find me.
We need you at the start of the season, middle of the season, and end of the season.
We'll do some mid-season updates.
There we go.
We'll be right back for a frozen margarita.
Oh, dog, diggity dog.
Welcome back to Chicago Now. You can see people are surrounding the bean no matter how much rain came down today. It is shining. And this next performer that we have with us, he's a shining star as well. Charlie Chaplin's Smile with Felipe Quint at Chicago History Museum. You have a chance to catch this special performance. It's tonight at the History Museum. He is a Grammy-nominated violinist, and guess what? We have the opportunity to be standing right next to him. Maybe some of those Grammy noms will rub off on us. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much for coming in with us this morning.
Thank you for having me. Pleasure to be here.
We appreciate it. Okay, tell us about what you have prepared. You don't think really Charlie Chaplin and then violin and it bringing it all together in one. So what was your inspiration?
Basically, I was working on a new album, and I was looking for composers that wrote for film. So I stumbled upon Smile on YouTube, and when I scrolled down, I noticed that Charlie Chaplin is credited. So I thought it was just music from one of his films. And as I kept researching, I discovered that he was actually behind most of the music in his films, which is absolutely fascinating. He wrote it while not being able to read or write music. He just had this incredible instinct and audacity to become a composer, just like that, and even a conductor. And he played the violin left-handed. So he put it in this. He felt that he had more dexterity in the fingers of his right hand to press on the strings. So he restrung the whole thing backwards. And actually, I played on that violin. I tried to play on that violin. It didn't work.
It didn't work.
No.
I must ask you, how long have you been playing the violin?
Forever.
For a very long time.
I actually don't remember the time when I wasn't playing the violin.
Really?
So,
Interesting.
Yeah, I started at the age of 4.
And is this the first instrument you picked up and the one you stuck with?
I had to. My parents didn't let me stick to anything else. Yeah, it was just the only thing. My family had the idea of family trio, and mother played the piano, my uncle played the cello, so they wanted us to have this little musical family thing going, you know. And yeah, I just, you know, I stuck to it. I went to Juilliard for a couple of years in New York. And yeah, now I'm here in Chicago doing all these interesting things.
Yeah, we heard you warming up. It was absolutely magical.
I know that we're going to have a really nice performance. Well, this performance that you have coming up is special, one night only. You know, tell people at home what they can expect. How long is it? Can anyone kind of, you know, take a little bit away, even if they don't know maybe Charlie Chaplin?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is something for everybody. You know, it goes into Charlie Chaplin's history, which actually began here in Chicago. That is what is one of the most fascinating facts that I actually just discovered recently, because everybody always associates Chaplin with California and Hollywood, but he actually started right here around 1915. He made one of his first films called His New Job at the S&A Studios, which is still here on Argyle. So I encourage everybody not to go there because there's too many people taking pictures like I was just a couple of days ago. But yeah, so Chaplin is greatly connected to the Chicago history, and I'm very excited to bring the show tonight at the Chicago History Museum at our new series called Chamber Music Immersive. And I think everybody will learn something about the film history, about Charlie Chaplin, his amazing gifts, and about his family life, and about his expedition into the music.
I have a quick question for you before we go to break, and then we're going to come back and you're going to perform. But I want to ask you, what was it about Charlie Chaplin that even got you to researching about him?
Well, I grew up on Charlie Chaplin's films. And I think even I remember in kindergarten that I once dressed up as Charlie Chaplin, you know, but little did I know that he was behind all the music. So, you know, I just found, you know, his character to be so multifaceted, so multi-talented. How did he go about all the things that he has done? Because, you know, music was just one of the things that he did, because he wanted to write an opera. He also conducted, you know, and all of these fascinating facts are actually happening tonight at the museum. I'm going to share all these wonderful stories. I believe there's still a few tickets left.
All right, so go get your tickets. We're going to go to break real quick. You could get your tickets right now. Stay with us. We'll be right back, and then we'll have this amazing performance. We'll be right back.
Mother.
Welcome back. We're continuing on our conversation with Philippe Quint. Charlie Chaplin's Smile with Philippe Quint is happening tonight at the Chicago History Museum, a very special one-night-only performance. Now, before we have you play, tell us about the instrument you had, because you said it has some history, doesn't it?
It certainly does. This is a 1708 Antonio Stradivari violin, and many of his instruments actually have names. So this one is called Ruby because you see this incredible red varnish on it. So this instrument I'm going to play tonight, and also I will be playing it on December 16th. This instrument will be part of the exhibit from my friends, the Stradivari Society, who will be bringing several more instruments just like that. But that's December 16th, a holiday special. So tonight's performance is just Charlie Chaplin and just this instrument, which I'm saying just, but it's a miracle.
We're going to let you play. We're going to step out of the way. Go get your tickets right now. Take it away.
Thank you so much.